Welcome to the Marshall County Board of Supervisors regular session, December 3rd, 2025, 9 a.m. at the courthouse. How to participate in the meeting and notice to the public. The Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You are requested to approach the podium and use the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chair to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and/or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate and a roll call vote will follow. Roll call, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Would you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I will move that we approve today's agenda.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Moving on to item number 5, the consent agenda. Approving the previous regular session minutes for November 19th, 2025. Approve the claims as audited. Approve personnel changes as follows. Lily Ferguson, a new hire in the Sheriff's Department. Jailer, $24.36 per hour to start on or after December 12th, 2025. Status change, Derek Colheavy, Secondary Roads, Truck Driver 1 to Truck Driver 2 at $31.57 per hour, effective December 6th, 2025. Status change, Richard Flaggy, Secondary Roads, Truck Driver 1 to Truck Driver 2 at $31.57 per hour, effective December 6, 2025. Status change, Antonio Mendoza, Secondary Roads, Truck Driver 1 to Truck Driver 2 at $31.57 per hour, effective December 6, 2025. Item 5D, filing of manure management plans. The Clemens Finisher Farm, number 58020 at 1460 120th Street, Clemens, signed with no changes. 5E, file of the Auditor Recorder's quarterly report, September 25, totaling $78,129.91. And that is the end of the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve today's consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion on any of the items? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
All right, moving right along to item number 6, approval of the allocation of national opioid settlement funds in the amount of $23,869 to Marshall County Public Health and approve memorandum of understanding. Jordan and Sydney are here, so we'll let them speak to this.
Good morning, Jordan Gaffney, Marshall County Attorney. A few months ago, we opened up applications for grant funding through the National Opioid Settlements. These are non-taxpayer dollars. These are monies we received through the civil litigation that occurred nationally. And as you recall, you guys approved a previous application for Marshall County Public Health earlier this year for some Narcan distribution and the What You Don't See Experience trailer. This is a second request from Marshall County Public Health, and it's a little different from the first, but kind of an extension of that program. So this request is for $23,869. And it will fund a program for Sydney's department to obtain locking prescription medication bottles that can safeguard your medications if you have controlled substances or children in the home, or if you just need to safeguard your medications on vacation or something like that. And it will provide for these Deterra disposal pouches that when you mix them with your medication, you can neutralize your medication. So it's a little bit escape room and a little bit James Bond, so it's pretty cool stuff. You know, put simply, this is just a public health program that's specifically geared towards reducing opioid exposure for young people, for community members, and vulnerable persons in our community. The remainder of the funding allocated to this program will go towards Sydney's department to engage in public outreach efforts to distribute the information and to share the information about, you know, what this could do for people if you have it in your home, if you're taking care of a loved one and you have a bunch of medication. You know, sometimes when something happens in somebody's family, you know, the family members discover, oh, our loved one had all this medication in the medicine cabinet, what are we supposed to do? They may not bring it to a prescription drug drop-off location, but this will help them dispose of it safely. So I think it's a good program. It's right up the alley and the requirements of the national opioid litigation settlements, and I'd be excited to get it started. And I think Sydney has the fun part because I think she can demonstrate for you what the canisters will do.
Yeah, Sydney Gruwell, Marshall County Public Health. So I have one of the locking prescription vials with me. These we will get to have an extension of our already awarded money that we got from the opioid settlement. So it'll be in extension of the trailer and all the other outreach that we'll be doing. So these are the full vials. So you can put a full bottle of medication. You don't have to take it out of the already prescribed medicine. And then in the vial comes these Deterra pouches. So these are what Jordan were talking about that neutralizes the medication. So you put your pills in there, you pour just household water in it, and then you close it, and then you can dispose of it in your trash. So someone who might not be able to get out to Hy-Vee, Walmart, any pharmacy to throw away their old medication, they can put it in there. But it also takes patches. So if you had someone who is maybe on cancer treatment who has fentanyl patches, which we know is a problem, they can put them in there as well, and it'll neutralize it. So you can throw it away in the trash. The cool thing about this as well is we'll be able to set these locks ourselves when someone comes up. So if you're like, hey, I want to set my own code, that way you don't forget it. We can do that as well as engaging with the people. So it locks and you just turn it and then you can't get in it. So, I mean, someone would have to guess your passcode just like any other locking thing, but you can take it. I was telling Jordan and the rest of the committee when we were presenting it that not only if you have it at home and you have maybe you've had a surgery or something like that, or maybe you just have, you suffer from something that you would need those medications. Like I know my family suffers from migraines, so we have some of those medications just as an emergency. But if you're traveling on vacation and you can't put those meds up in a higher medicine cabinet and you have little ones, sometimes they can get those prescriptions open. So this would be just even another safeguard so that way they can't get to it. So just an extra thing to add to our already opioid things that we'll be doing. Hopefully in the spring, it was our goal to start here this fall, but due to the
So how will people access this?
So my goal is to do out like public outreach events, and then when we can't bring the trailer or just do it scheduled, there's a drug take back days, focus just on this, and then provide that education. And so they'll just be free to give out to those individuals that can come and get them.
And the 23,869 gets you how many?
What is it, like 1,500, I believe.
Okay.
So
Because you buy it by the case.
you buy it by the case. So
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
250 of these per case, and then there's 50 that come, like you can buy them separately because it's cheaper to do it that way. If you buy them together, it ups the price, so you get less that way. And then there's also pamphlets that come English, Spanish, which is fantastic. So that way we don't have to get stuff to like make, this is how you use it, that you can buy from the Deterra company. And so then we can just give it out to them. But yeah, we'll get 1,500, and talking to people that already have this in other states and working with the locking prescription vial companies, they say don't start with too many because as you give them out to people, people will already have them. So it'll just be more of the pouches after that as people use them,
I see.
which are cheaper, which is
Yeah.
good. So.
Yeah. Jordan, curious, can you remind us the amount of dollars available in that fund to
It's over-
Marshall County?
It's over $500,000.
Yeah.
But we've allocated some of it, since we've allocated some of it to the first public health program, and we've allocated a good chunk of it to impact, to expand impact. We do have 2 other applications in the pipeline. we're working on finalizing the agreements so that we can get
Okay.
those to you guys. And I would point out, after I submitted the final MOU for the board agenda, I caught something in section D for the reporting requirements that needed updated, because it had just included, I had just used the form from Sydney's first program. So I included the updated reporting requirements to include, about how many deterrent pouches and how many locking canisters are distributed in that particular provision. So, and I can
Okay.
get that to Nan. So I just wanted you guys to know that the MOU should not be the one we sign, and I showed it to Sydney. She's okay with it. So
Okay,
I have the printed final version with me. So.
sounds like a good program.
Yeah, very excited.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Is there a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the allocation of national opioid settlement funds in the amount of $23,869 to Marshall County Public Health and approve the memorandum of understanding.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Okay. Item number 7. Resolution 2025-0029, approving allocation internal transfer of opioid settlement funds to Marshall County Public Health and memorandum of understanding. And I assume this
This is
moves the
related.
money.
Yes, and the resolution we needed approved separately.
Okay.
Well,
Any questions or? Okay.
no. I'll make the motion to adopt Resolution 2025-29, approving allocation internal transfer of opioid settlement funds to Marshall County Public Health and memorandum of understanding.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
All right. Moving on to item number 8, approve EIWA, which if you're wondering what that stands for, it's Eastern Iowa Workforce Development Area, CEO Shared Liability 28E, and authorize the chair to sign. Kevin, would you like to talk about this at all?
Yeah, this is an agreement we had signed, I think, two board meetings ago. And in the interim, there was discussion about improving the language in the merger agreement,
Okay.
which was, one, to make it known that it's going to be a 6-month notice for withdrawal, and it has to do with federal and state regulations as to the way the funds are withdrawn. And then the other one was an amendment to the agreement stating that any amendment to the agreement would require a 2/3 majority vote of the CEOs.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope.
Other comments? I would entertain a motion.
I would move that we approve the EIWA CEO Shared Liability 28E agreement and authorize the chair to sign.
I will second.
All right. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Bless you. Item number 9, public forum. Time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on the agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum. Any comments? Ann, did you have something from Blaze, or were you?
Oh, yes, you're right, thank you. For the reappraisal project, Blaze asked me to share, or was explaining some of this process, and I think everybody's received letters if you are a homeowner. But if you go out on the Marshall County website under Assessor, the very last item talks about this specifically, and it actually has pictures of the individual's names that'll be coming to the homes. along with the vehicle make, model, and a license plate number. I was just concerned with people going out in the public and possibly being naughty. So
Yeah.
I like that we know who's going to be out and about. And I thought there was a lot of really good information he had out there on the website. So if anybody has questions, please
Yeah.
take a look at that too.
I think the question has come up, I know that I've received is, do we have to allow them to come into your home? And you do not have to allow them to come into your home. Although I think the letter does a pretty good job of explaining that whether they're allowed in your home or not to observe anything, or they will ask you questions about it, you can answer or not. But if you don't, they will still have to determine some new assessment for it. So,
Well,
it's-
possibly.
it-
They may leave it where it's at too.
well, they will still have to determine an assessment, whether it
Yes.
stays the same or whether it will change, go up or down. And so, I think Blaze's comment will be if we want accurate assessments, then it behooves us to answer the questions at the minimum, but.
I've had questions too on, why we're doing this. This is something that is supposed to be done every 10 years. As I understand it, Marshall County has never done this. So
Yeah.
if we are not don't have the proper assessments on our values, the state will come in and do this for us. And I don't anticipate that they would be cheaper. So I think this is a better way to get a fair assessment. If you do have elderly parents or a parent in a home, it'd be a good conversation with them. Of, really what's going on.
And I think at that point, it's that recommendation from the Department of Revenue that this should be done every 10 years. Now, most counties don't, is from what I understand. Some do. But think of it for like us in Marshall County. We've had, from Craig Medill, and then we had an interim.
Even
And-
before that.
And then Blaze. So just even in the last 10 years, we've had 3 different assessors, may have 3 different styles that do their work in the way they do. So to have a reevaluation that just levels it out is a good thing. So
Coupled with all of our natural disasters we've had in our county and everything, the one thing Blaze pointed out to me was if you don't let them into your home, which I think a lot of people are feeling that way, they're going to imagine the worst or the best. And it may, overvalue your property because they're not actually able to come in. We haven't remodeled for 20 plus years. So, that could make it a difference that way. So just imagine what they'll imagine.
Yeah.
And
They
it is,
overvalue.
it is helpful, Blaze does have on his portion of the website, as you said, their pictures, what kind of car they drive, their license plate number, where they're from, so.
They will have ID, and they will have a letter from Blaze as well. So, but, I'm always nervous telling people, we're recommending you let people in your house. That just kind of sits wrong with me, so I think it's best to be informed.
but it's understandable that people get excited about this because the assessment does directly tie to the value of property, which is tied to property taxes. So there is that concern that whatever change that occurs could affect my property taxes. Well, if there is a change, yes, it will affect it. Could affect it up or down. But ultimately, in the end, it's a good reminder that the assessor's office is just following the letter of the law to get the accurate assessments to the best of their abilities. And then it's still the governmental bodies like ourselves, the city, and school districts, community college. The decisions that are made there is what affects your tax dollars. It's not the assessment. But since it's factored into it as part of the equation, that's obviously why people get excited and they're trying to hedge their bets. Do I let someone in because I think this might have my assessment go down that can help my property taxes? Or do I not let them in because I think it might affect it to go up? And so it makes sense that people are thinking that way. And there's nothing wrong with thinking that way. But knowing that the whole point of this process is to get accuracy on our records, and I think it's good to have accuracy.
And just to point out also, Blaze. and I
Brenda,
had,
do you wanna
Oh, I
come-
apologize. Rhonda Broaddus, 911 Director. Blaze and I have had also some really good conversations as to when they're going out, and coupled with the, the information that's on the website, being able to share that with with individuals. Because the biggest thing when people call us into 911 is, somebody's at my door, I don't know this person. Okay, what do they look like? Do you have this website? So that we can get information out. But he's been very communicative on when they're going to be out, what times they're going to be out, so on and so forth. So I think we're also prepared in the dispatch center as well.
And again, this, as the letter describes, this process will take a fair amount of time. So over the next couple of years here, this will be going on. Okay. Anything else? If not, we will move on to item number 10, which is adjournment. The next regular session is scheduled for Wednesday, December 17th, 2025 at 9 a.m. here in the courthouse. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the County Auditor Recorder's Office, the Board of Supervisors' Office, or email the Board Clerk by Wednesday, December 10th at 12 noon. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting